What's up guys, Joe here with the supplementreviews.org. This is my review for Organifi Green Juice. So this is a product that's actually been on the market for a while now. I think I've actually done a review for it before, but they have updated the formula. So I figured I would do a new review and talk about this formula, break down the supplement facts, do all the things that we normally do, and I'm going to show you what a dosage of it looks like so you can get kind of a preview if this is a supplement that you're considering buying. But before we get into the review, if you do find this video helpful, if you get anything out of it, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. And with that, let's go ahead and get into it. So here's the supplement facts panel. That should zoom in there and you should be able to see that this basically just consists of two proprietary blends. And if you do the simple math there, you'll see that it has 7,000 milligrams of superfoods per serving. So again, if you've watched my greens powders reviews in the past, you know that the industry average, at least for a good greens powder, is roughly 10,000 milligrams of superfoods per serving. With this, you're getting 7,000. So it's not bad. It's not like it's a crazy amount under the industry average at 10,000, but it's definitely not high enough for me to personally buy or recommend. Obviously I bought it for the purpose of this review, otherwise I wouldn't be holding it, but it's not something that I would take, and that's primarily because my #1 ranked greens powder on my website, which is called the Total Living Drink, has 15,000 milligrams of superfoods per serving, making it literally more than twice as potent as Organifi Green Juice. So I can't recommend this and I wouldn't take it myself, but it's not that bad of a product, just kind of middle of the pack. I've seen a lot worse and I've reviewed a lot worse on this channel. It's crazy actually. Some of the most popular greens powders like Balance of Nature, Texas Superfood, Bloom Greens, all three of those have 5,000 milligrams or less of superfoods per serving, and yet they're all more popular than Organifi or the Total Living Drink. So I don't know how that is. Wouldn't recommend any of those products. Organifi I would at least recommend over those three that I just mentioned, Balance of Nature, Texas Superfood, and Bloom Greens. But how can I recommend Organifi? I can recommend it above those, but how can I recommend it over the Total Living Drink, knowing the Total Living Drink is literally twice as potent? So it's really just as simple as that. Would you rather have 7,000 milligrams per serving or 15,000 milligrams like you get with the Total Living Drink? So the next thing I'm going to do is I've poured out one dosage of Organifi onto a plate here. I'm going to show you what that looks like so you can kind of get a preview of what you're going to be getting with every serving if you do end up deciding to buy Organifi. Let's go ahead and do that. So here's what one dosage of Organifi looks like, and again that's 7,000 milligrams of superfoods. So oops, just spilled it, but that's a okay, not half bad dosage, decent. Like I said, middle of the pack. It's not one of those lower end products where when you look at it, when you look at the dosage and the pile of greens, you're like, oh my god, I mean that's just an obvious ripoff. But it's just kind of a middle of the pack supplement. Not good, not great. Not something I would take, not something I would recommend, but not necessarily something that I would bash either. So yeah, that's kind of where I stand on Organifi. But another thing I did here is I poured out a serving of the Total Living Drink just to put into perspective what a really high-end greens powder looks like next to kind of just your run-of-the-mill average greens powder, which is what I would classify Organifi as. So let's go ahead and look at these two servings next to each other. I'm going to flip the camera around and zoom in a little closer. So that is the one serving of Organifi. You can see this scooper here. Pretty decent sized scooper, which it needs to be to fit 7,000 milligrams. And I always like to see the scoopers versus the capsules, because the size of the scooper itself gives you a good idea of how much greens you're going to get, and then the fact that you can just easily dump it out and see that's what you're getting, I like that way more than capsules. The capsules really bother me. But here's what a serving of the Total Living Drink looks like. So that is 15,000 milligrams. That's my #1 ranked greens powder. And again, you can see just the huge difference there. Even though I spilled the serving of Organifi, you can see how much more greens is on the plate with 1 serving of Total Living Drink versus Organifi. I mean, it's literally twice the amount of greens factually, because again, we're talking about 7,000 here and 15,000 here. So hopefully that helps put it into perspective. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for this review, guys. So Organifi, to sum it up, basically just a middle of the pack greens powder. Not something I would ever personally take or something I would recommend to my viewers. So average supplement, not that great. 7,000 milligrams of superfoods per serving, middle of the pack. Yeah, that'll do it for this review. If you guys have any questions about Organifi, feel free to leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.